Church people, now, y'all have been identified as suspects involved in some fuckery. And the people want to know what's going on. Come on in. Church people, y'all been all over the news for the past couple of weeks now. You know, we got Bishop T.D. Jakes and his daughter stealing their woman's baby, allegedly. And then we got Bishop Fraud and Flashy, who staged a whole robbery of his own damn church, allegedly. And then we got y'all Aunt Kim Burrell down there talking. Now, we ain't got no allegedly on her. There's video footage that have surfaced of her calling the people broken, dusted. Lord, what is the church coming to? Okay, so I have an interesting relationship with the church. Now, you know, my mama loved the Lord. Love the Lord. But I think church people, that's where y'all get it wrong. Y'all love the church more than you love the Lord, and it ain't supposed to be that way. And because y'all love the church, y'all are so into anything. Now, let's go back to T.D. Jakes and his daughter stealing that woman's baby. Now, listen, I like T.D. Jakes. I thought I did. I do like the man's message. However, T.D. Jakes is definitely a flawed man, like we all are. But I think the difference between church people and the difference between us regular folk is there is a level of expectation that separates us. You know, as ordinary people, shout out to John Legend, as ordinary people, we are not expected, we are not exalted. But church people are very much, you know, especially our church leaders, the expectation that you are going to be not a perfect leader, but a fair and diplomatic leader, I think is a general expectation that y'all fail miserably to live up to. You know, it reminds me, and I know I'm aging myself right now, but it reminds me of that song in that in the original Car Wash movie with Richard Pryor. He was an old jackleg preacher of some sort, and you had the girls that say, "If you believe in something, why not believe in me?" That's y'all, church people. Y'all will sow into anything as long as somebody slap God's name on it. Y'all willing to sow into it. And then to add insult to injury, y'all actually sow into that and then have the audacity to think y'all better than somebody because of it. Listen, God isn't a carrot. God isn't a carrot. That's how Bishop Fraud and Flashy could... That's how Bishop Fraud and Flashy could mess over many of y'all. I don't understand how you're so into that. I don't understand how y'all see y'all Bishop Fraud and Flashy riding out here in these streets that y'all struggling on in his drop top flashy cars with his pretty little wife and dripped in the finest jewelry, and y'all so into that. And the church is bare bones, and y'all so into that. That's not sowing into God. That's sowing into an image. That's sowing into a farcity. I don't get it. Again, church people, y'all got to do better. Y'all got to do better. And then when I do meet church people, they always want to introduce you. They always want to introduce you to their church. Listen, it's a funny story. After my mom died, as a kind of way to honor her, because she loved the Lord and she always wanted to find a church home, and unfortunately she never found it in her lifetime. And so we went on a church tour where we were trying out different churches, looking in search of a church home. We happened upon one church in particular. And we're there and we're enjoying the service. The church had a great pastor. Unfortunately, the pastor was the best one of the whole congregation, but I digress. But we're there and we're enjoying the church. And we get home and my daughter tells me, she's like, "Mom, I heard them talking about people." And I'd heard them talking about people too. They were laughing and cackling and talking about them ladies singing up there or not singing up there in the choir. And the messiness of it all just left a bad taste in me and my kids' mouths, to the point where instead of praying, we're here, y'all back there laughing and talking at people. And that marks the beginning of what kind of changed it around. I've encountered so many rude, mean, and crude church people along the way. And church people, I'm here to tell y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself for attaching God's name to such ugly behavior. I'm not saying y'all should be perfect. Unfortunately, I don't exalt y'all, because I know you all are just human. I know that you are just man that put on your pants one leg at a time. But you got a whole lot of people that exalt y'all, that put y'all on a pedestal, and some of you lives for it. Not I. Not me. Not mine. But y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. You know, I'm going to tell y'all who I'm going to call on y'all. I'm going to call Mr. Marcus. I'm going to call Mel Brother, because Mel Brother add y'all's ass out. Mel's brother say, I know you for your works. And you know how I know you for your works? Because I was one of y'all. That's what Mel Brother told us. Mel Brother call you by your name. Mel Brother say, I know you ain't dead, because I was there with you. That's what Mel Brother say. We need a Mel Brother in every one of these churches across the United States of Negro America to point out and air y'all out when y'all get the can out in the name of the Lord. Now, y'all need to do better. Bishop Fraud and Flasher went to the penitentiary, to the pen for fraud. Now, one thing I will say this. I watched the interview that he did with Tasha K. Shout out to Tasha K, by the way. He did the interview with Tasha K. I do believe that the man is very intelligent. I do think he has a noodle, but he used it in all the wrong ways. He used it to con you good church people out your tithe and offering. Church people, I had a preacher when I was a little girl to say that you get a good Bible-based church. And I was caution y'all, be careful. Just like the rest of us, be careful what you sow into. Because the man at the altar is not the man upstairs. I'm not saying don't honor your pastor, and I'm not saying that pastors should be out here begging hand to mouth to live. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that's in the Bible. But what I am saying is Jesus didn't live like that. From my knowledge, Jesus didn't have no Gucci scarf. Jesus didn't have no Giuseppe cloth. Jesus lived amongst the people. And to me, if your pastor ain't out here amongst the people, something is wrong. I used to live on the street. There was 3 churches along the street. I never saw now one of those churches come out into the community. That is a problem. That is a problem. So again, you're going to sow into these churches. Sow into a church that sows back into you. And if that church not sowing back into you, and I'm not talking about the word. I'm not talking about the word. I'm talking about some one-on-one. I'm talking about some real help, not just reading that Bible. Sow into a church, a pastor that sows back into you. Because then when you don't, y'all promote these people that dangle God as like a carrot. Kim Burrell been in the music industry, from what we can tell, successful for a number of years. And the best thing you could say, Kim Burrell, the best thing you could say to somebody is that you're broke and dusty. Really? Really? In God's blessings, you are a blessed woman. And being a blessed woman, this is what you say, you brag. To me, that's bragging. Bishop Fraud and Flashing. You dripped up, draped out, know what I'm talking about, all in your Gucci and your gold and your Uchi. Stay Uchi down to the socks. You're a blessed man. And this what you do in your blessing? Y'all bragging. Y'all bragging. Y'all throwing it up in our face. Y'all throwing it up in our face. But for those of us who can separate the two, know that God don't operate like that. God don't operate like that. I ain't saying don't enjoy your blessings. I'm not saying don't live good. I'm saying there's a way to do it. Church people, y'all better wisen up.